We just want to take some time to share with our viewers the man behind JBS Executive Detailing. And Jeff, could you just share with us the history of your company?
Sure, I'll try to keep it short. So it all started when I was 9 years old, and I was in the driveway of my parents' home, and they hired a detailer for their old Honda, and it was about a 10-year-old car at the time, and it was a mess. So we saw a neighbor's car getting detailed. They hired the same person. I stood on a little stool and was sitting there just watching this guy clean the car almost the entire day. And at the end of that day, I just remember thinking to myself, I can do that. And I even thought I think I could do it a little bit better. So shortly thereafter, I went with my dad. We went to the auto parts store. We picked up various supplies and cleaners. And that just sort of led this, I guess, long time passion for car cleaning and car detailing. It continued on through high school, into college, and it was really at that point transitioning, just from a little part-time side business to more, I thought maybe what could be a career. I then continued on, it became an LLC, then to a corporation, and those behind the scene changes. And then as it started to grow with my brothers and hiring a few people there in California, I started to realize that there might be a long-term potential for that. I then moved out to Arizona to expand the business, and also had a brief period in outside sales alongside of that. But what was interesting is my detailing business continued to grow even in California when I wasn't there, and my brothers were doing such a good job with it. I was getting more customers and the referrals were growing. And that's when I started to realize that I was able to create something and pass it on. So that was a neat little spot for me, and that passion never died. And I realized one day that if I'm gonna do this, then I have to go all in 100%. So that's what kind of led us to these past couple years and where I am today, and really trying to grow the business. I mean, now we're cleaning airplanes and all kinds of fun stuff, far beyond what I guess could have ever thought when I started.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, with all your experience in the industry and all the products you've used, Jeff shared with me that he used to use the Ceramic Pro products. However, now you use Feynlab. So explain the difference.
Good question. So yes, I have found that in my years of doing this, there's a lot of ceramic coatings on the market. The biggest difference though between Feynlab versus anyone else presently in the market is they are 100% manufactured in-house in America with their chemist right there with the product. So there's no outsourcing, there's no middleman, it's all done in-house in Lombard, Illinois. And more importantly, because their chemistry is so carefully planned and so well developed before they bring anything to market, their products actually can hold up the test of time, and they can deliver what they promise. One of the most unique things about the Feynlab product versus any other product out there right now is they have a self-healing coating, which means that small scratches, micro-marring, things like that can actually be corrected just by applying heat in that direct area. So it's repolymerizing in those areas, and no one else has that on the market right now. A couple claim it, they can actually deliver that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
So one of the hot topics on the Tesla forums is how to protect your paint. Now here in Arizona, there are a lot of rocks. So one of the popular products that the detailers use is the Expel Clear Wrap. Now, do we need to wrap the car after we've applied the Feynlab protective product?
No, you would not have to. So this is kind of a brief explanation between the two. If you take clear film, it actually comes in at about 4 to 5 mils of thickness. And an average clear coat on an OEM production vehicle today is about 2 to 3 mils of thickness. To explain what that means in real life, if you take a sticky note is 3 mils thick. That means that the clear coat on your factory finish is a little bit thinner than that piece of paper. Now, when comparing a ceramic coating such as Feynlab, which is again far superior to anything else out on the market, and a clear protective film, the physical barrier and physical thickness of a clear protection film is going to be thicker and better from direct impacts than a ceramic coating. That's just, a fact. It's just thicker material. But something to consider though that we don't think about long term is that paint protection film is just a film to protect the paint, meaning it's gonna have to come off someday. And what people don't realize is when peeling that off, it can be cracked, blistered, brittle. The paint underneath may not be as stable as it once was, meaning you can peel up paint with it years down the road. And in a lot of the times when I've removed it, what I've noticed is where impacts have been, even though there's no direct scratching from a rock hitting it, there's still indentations and other marks that are there that would have to be fixed anyway. So in reality, the clear protective film did some of what it was supposed to do, but it still left marks that had to be corrected. When people do apply clear protection film, we offer a really good product from Feynlab that is designed specifically for the PPF, which is paint protection film in vinyl, that will give it the hydrophobic properties of a ceramic coated vehicle on top of that. So if someone really wants the double power of both, we can make that work, but you would never apply a PPF film on top of a ceramic coated vehicle, just when it makes sense.
Jeff, tell me the science behind Feynlab.
So thank you for asking about that. Feynlab has 4 unique properties in their coating. So to get a little bit more technical on what the coating is, the first thing we have to consider is the siloxane. Siloxane is the gloss. That is what provides that glossy layer when the coating goes down. The second element to the ceramic coating from Feynlab is the silicone nitride. That is the strength. So that is what's making that covalent bond and actually creating a cross link to the painted surface. This is what separates coatings in general from waxes and sealants. The best way I like to describe that is like vanilla ice cream and you putting Hershey syrup on it versus Smucker's hard shell. That hard shell really creates a super strong bond where the Hershey syrup just kind of sits on top and runs away. That would be like your wax. So the silicone nitride, which is a developmental part of the Feynlab product, that is what creates all that strength and that really strong bond. The third element in the ceramic coating from Feynlab is the silicone carbide. So think of like a carbide tip drill bit or a carbide blade. That there is going to be your resistance to scratching. So that's another part of the entire formula that they've put together that makes it extremely strong. The last element to the Feynlab ceramic coating is the fluoridity. That is your protection against all the acids and high alkalines and different things that come against it. So that's what makes the ceramic coating resilient to that. It also gives it the hydrophobic properties. A ceramic coated surface is going to resist water much differently than other surfaces. It's going to sheet the water away and give a lot of protection. So if you were to splash water on it, it would remove itself from that surface. It's going to push itself off the surface. That's the fluidity. So to recap, all 4 of these elements are working together in Feynlab's formulations to create the absolute best protection. Where some products on the market are high in one, they don't have the other developed, where Feynlab puts all 4 together and it's an amazing package which no one else on the market is delivering today.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I also have my family here with us, and they were there with you all day the other day, and they were enjoying learning how you detail cars. So let me have them come up here with us.
Absolutely.
Well, Jeff, throughout our conversations, I noticed there was something different about you, and you shared with me that you're a Christian. So as a brother in Christ, can you share with our viewers how your faith makes a difference in your business?
Thank you for asking. So yes, I would say the 2 big things are, one, getting up every morning, the Lord just gives me strength. I mean, having, the opportunity to seize the day and, make stuff happen. I mean, that's a blessing, that's a gift. The second thing I really feel the Lord, calls us to do is just to share the gospel all the time. And through my business, I hope that I can do that. One of the ways I like to do that is I hope to create a team and build up people, coach them, mentor them, and ultimately, share the gospel through them and to my customers each and every day. And knowing that I'm working for the Lord and not just for the customer, whoever it may be at that time, really makes me focus on doing the very best that I can, because I am sharing Christ in my business, and that covers all my aspects from, having integrity to just doing, the right thing and doing a good job.
Yeah, and that's what I noticed about Jeff. That is great. And as we discussed, where we brought this car from.
Yes.
We picked it up at the Tesla factory in Fremont, California. We drove it down the California coast here to Arizona. Now next, what we're going to do with this car is drive it out to the East Coast to meet up. We'd like to meet up with the Fox and Friends morning show in New York City. And so could you share with the kids how they can help us keep the car clean as we travel across the U.S.
All right, well, the easiest way to keep the car clean is to not drive it. But since that's not an option, what we have are some very simple maintenance procedures. So the first thing that we recommend is getting a designated wash bucket that's nice and clean. And then you can get a grit guard, which is actually like a little plastic grate that fits in the bottom of your bucket, so that during your washing process, you can rub your mitt against it, and it has baffles that draw the dirt to the bottom of the bucket. So every time you dip it in to go wash the vehicle, it doesn't bring more dirt into it, thus reducing any potential scratches and wash marks you may put into it. The next thing we recommend is having a good set of high quality microfiber towels. And the most important thing about a microfiber towel is it has tons of little naps built into the fibers that pulls the dirt into the towel and away from the surface of the vehicle. The next thing is having a proper soap. Because the vehicle is going to have a ceramic coating, you do not want a soap that would have fillers in it, such as polymers or waxes or things like that. So Feynlab has developed a very special maintenance soap for their products. And when you put that on the ceramic coated vehicle, it maintains that ceramic coated surface. It makes sure that all the hydrophobic effects and everything that are built into the ceramic coating are maintained and preserved, but it also has enough foaming elements and cleaners that it's not too harsh, and it preserves and protects that. Once you have those few things in the right combination in a little bit of time, you can do it on the go. And the nice thing about that is just doing it with a rinseless method, you can actually wash your vehicle without having to pull out a bucket with all the soap and hoses and everything. You can do it pretty easily right there without having to do a lot of extra work. So it makes it pretty simple and convenient in most situations.
Okay, well, you guys remember that? Is that what we're going to do when we drive across the U.S.? Okay, you can help me with that. Well, Jeff, could you introduce us to your family?
Yes, so this here is my wife, Sarah. Been married a little over 2 years, and our little daughter, Olivia, she just turned 10 months.
Wow, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And Sarah, this is a special day for you because you probably don't normally get to go out on jobs with Jeff.
Nope.
So we wanted to take this opportunity to share with you how hard Jeff has been working on our car, and it looks great. So we're going to reveal that to her in just a little bit. But first of all, I just wanted to ask you all about being new parents. I mean, what is that like?
You can go first, babe.
Well, it's been exciting and it's been quite the blessing. It's obviously had its challenges. We're learning how to do everything. So we're learning each day, step by step, but it's been a lot of fun and we've been enjoying every moment too. And we know that the days they can seem long sometimes, but the years go really fast. So we're enjoying every second with her.
Great, great. Well, Jeff, just thank you so much for what you have done. I know your partner, Aaron couldn't be here with us today, but if you're watching, Aaron, I just want to personally thank you so much. You did a great job on the car and had great conversations with you. We all had lunch together in between times to take a break, and the conversation was just good and encouraging to each other. So thank you. Jeff, I want to give you a personal thank you. It's this book. It's called Your Life Well Spent. And this book has given me wisdom in decisions in my career and how to be a faithful leader in my family. So I hope it encourages and inspires you also. Yes, and to you too. It will inspire Daddy to just help you as you grow. So I think in just a moment we need to reveal the car to you all, especially to you,
good,
Sarah. We're going to do it in a special way through the summon mode that Tesla has on the car. So let's see if we can do that. Well, thanks for watching so much. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time on Model 3 Live.